We are going to look at a few points made in this book by author David Thomas. Part 1 examined physics problems with climate theory. Part 2 now looks at the data issues portion of the book. We're told the science on climate change is settled, but what if the data it is based on is flawed? We will take a look at some of the issues. The hockey stick graph is the icon of climate alarm. It shows flat temperatures for centuries, then a sharp spike begins where proxy data transitioned to thermometer data. But when only proxy data, such as tree rings, is used, no rising blade is observed. This has serious implications regarding the present data or the uncertainty of the proxy data. Also, other previously accepted data, such as the medieval warm period and the 70s cooling period, were erased. The book examines other data adjustments that are known as homogenization. It's like proclaiming weight loss by adjusting the scale down. In this slide, we see that data adjustments correlate 89% with CO2 levels, not temperatures themselves, but the adjustments to the data. We also see how, over time, historical data keeps getting cooled, making the present appear warmer. The same year's data shows different adjustments in different releases. Another sign of adjustment is the increasing rate of estimates replacing measurement data. This can lead to confirmation bias, tainting the results. Yet another sign of bias is in the fact that satellite data differs substantially from the ground-based data. The data that agrees with the model is clearly preferred. Now let's look at other temperature-altering elements. Urban heat islands from increased concrete, asphalt, and other construction create warming often included in climate change data. Here's a graph of temperature rise in California counties grouped by population. The greater the population, the higher the temperature rise. Las Vegas is the textbook example of UHI, which shows dramatic warming of the lows but level or dropping highs. The population grew 1,900% in the past 75 years. Nacogdoches, Texas, shows little change, with only 30% growth in 100 years. The book lists several cities and tells you where to look up the details of your favorite cities. Now let's look at other things that affect climate. This chart shows the author's analysis showing a correlation of 89% between historical temperatures and several solar and planetary cycles that meaningful random data could not achieve. In other words, the historical temperature variations matched solar and planetary timings very convincingly. And here's an example of random cities' temperature variations tracking solar activity rather than CO2. Natural cycles may explain more than acknowledged by the AGW crowd. Ice core records reveal something crucial. CO2 changes follow temperature changes by hundreds of years. Temperature rises first, then CO2 increases. Positive feedback doesn't explain this lag. The simpler explanation, warming oceans release dissolved CO2 like warm soda releases bubbles. Temperature drives CO2 changes, not the reverse. While Part 1 challenged the physics, this part challenged the data and suggests that a theory built on faulty data will also be wasteful and ineffective in its solutions. The analysis, data sources, and detailed methodology are in the book. Scan the QR code and grab the book to learn more.